Welcome to the Videography University podcast. This is the podcast to listen to if you have ambitions of turning your passion for videography into a six-figure income in a full-time career. My name's Grant Burks. I'm the host of this podcast. I run my own video production business full-time, and I am also the author of a book called Film to Freedom, where I teach the steps to turn your passion for videography into a full-time business and a six-figure income. So on today's episode, we are going to talk about how I was able to earn a $4,200 project by visiting a networking group one time. I'm going to share with you the power of business networking groups and the 3 steps that you can implement in your business to get the most possible out of visiting networking groups and start to earn similar projects for your business through this really powerful networking strategy. So first, let's talk a little bit about how I ended up booking this $4,200 project from visiting this networking group. So I had been involved in a networking organization called AmSpirit. I was invited to this organization by one of my friends who was a member of my local chamber of commerce, which I was also a member of. I told my friend that I was looking for something that was a little bit more geared toward helping businesses grow than the chamber was. The chamber was more of kind of general networking as opposed to really focusing on businesses, small businesses, and networking to grow each other's businesses. Now, with that being said, you can definitely get great results from the Chamber of Commerce as well. I'll tell you how my involvement in the Chamber of Commerce helped me to book an $8,000 project in a future episode. But in this one, we're focusing on networking groups. So when I told my friend that I was looking for a more focused networking opportunity, he mentioned to me this organization that he was involved with. He was a local banker, and he said he was in this organization called AmSpirit, which is really focused on getting small business owners together where they can network with other small business owners and help refer people within their network that are looking for an expert within a different niche. So, for example, my friend, as I mentioned, was a banker. Well, in this networking group that he told me about, there was also a title agent, there was an accountant, there was an insurance rep, there was a real estate agent, and a variety of other positions, or a variety of other business owners within different niches. So I said, this sounds like a great opportunity. He told me to come join him for one of the meetings, so I went with him to one of the meetings, and it ended up being a great opportunity. We'll talk more about that group that I joined in another episode and how I was able to make $4,000 from joining that group just within the first 30 days of being in the group. But this really opened my eyes to the power of business networking groups. It was this entirely new opportunity to earn business that I wasn't even aware of prior to going to these meetings. So then I learned about more groups that were out there, such as I think Gold Star is the name of another one, and then BNI, which is probably the most popular networking group in the United States. So I was invited by a mortgage lender who I'd done work for mortgage lenders in the past, and a previous client of mine actually invited me to his BNI chapter, which once again is another business networking organization. And from my great experience being involved in AmSpirit, I figured, why not take advantage of this opportunity? Why not be a guest and meet some more business owners here? So I said, sure. I joined him for one of his meetings. They're typically really early because you're trying to get to these meetings. They're trying to get the meetings over before the business day starts for a lot of these business owners or sales reps within these different companies. So I think this one was at 7:30 or so on a Thursday. I went with him and I just networked with as many people as I could at the meeting. It was probably around, I'd say 30 people in the meeting total. Good group of people, a lot of really nice people, all different industries. At one point during the meeting, I met a lawyer, and we were talking about our businesses a little bit, and that was pretty much it, pretty high level. And then as we're going around at the end of our meeting, I learned about his business and the other business owners' businesses as well, and didn't think much of it. I passed out as many of my business cards as I could. Tried to chat with as many people as I could. Didn't necessarily seem like there was going to be any immediate business that was going to come from the meeting, but I thought, it was a win. I got to talk to a lot of people, got my name out there. Well, a couple days later, I get an email inquiry in my inbox from I don't want to say the name of the individual, but it was somebody that I had met at the group. It was the lawyer within the group. And it took me a second for it to register who it was, but then I connected the dots on it. And it turns out he was interested in a brand video, which I had shared about a brand video at the group when it was my opportunity to speak amongst everybody. Typically, you get about 30 seconds to talk about your company, what you do, how you can help your clients while everyone's doing a round table. So you get that 30 seconds to kind of pitch your product or your services. Well, he said he was really interested in a brand video. And so I emailed him back. We set up a time to meet. We went to a coffee shop, met, talked a little bit more about his business. I learned a little bit more about him, what he was looking for, what services he provided. He was a personal injury attorney. So that was kind of his focus niche within law. And I learned more about what separated him from some of his competitors. He had a really unique story, which we thought was really important to kind of express in his brand video. And we set up another meeting after that. So I took all that, put together a presentation for him, some different options that we could do for a brand video for him. And we met again a few weeks later at another coffee shop. I presented the different options to him. And sure enough, a few days later, he selected which one he wanted to move forward with, being a $4,200 project. So this just goes to show you the power of business networking groups such as BNI, AmSpirit, Gold Star. There's a number of them out there, even just local ones to different areas. So just from going to this one business networking meeting, I didn't think anything was going to come of it necessarily. Even after the meeting, it didn't seem like there was going to be any immediate business that was going to come from it, but ultimately ended up booking a $4,200 project off of it. It's so important to get yourself out there into the community, to meet new people, and to also meet people who are going to be in a position to where they could potentially be in need of and want your services. These business networking groups are amazing opportunities to meet those targeted prospects. Most of the individuals within these groups, once again, are business owners, are salespeople, are marketing people within their respective companies. We'll go over more of the projects that I booked through business networking groups in future podcast episodes. You can see just from this one experience that there is great opportunity, great potential out there to book new business from going to these different meetings. So now I want to share with you 3 key things to focus on when you're going to these meetings. I've heard a lot of people who have gotten involved in business networking groups. They go, I'm not really getting any business from it. It's not really working out for me. And I would challenge them. I would ask, are you doing these 3 things that are going to be really important for helping you actually turn those meetings into booked projects, paying clients for your business? If you just show up to a meeting, you don't talk to anybody, and you don't really share about your services, odds are you're probably not going to put yourself in a position to where people are going to want to book projects with you. So the 3 main things here to focus on when you are going to a business networking meeting. First, network with as many people as possible. The more people you network with, the more potential you have to find a client. Maybe there's probably a handful of people that could potentially be a client within the group, but you don't know. You don't necessarily know which one might end up being that client that's going to book a project with you. For example, I was at another networking meeting, and I was trying to focus on the individuals who I thought probably fell within the niche that I was most likely going to find a client in. And so I talked to them, but I figured I may as well speak with some other individuals as well, try to just have a conversation with as many people as I could within the room. And I ended up booking a $7,000 project from a client who I never thought would have ended up being a client of mine. They were in a completely different industry than I had worked in the past, and it ended up being one of my best clients from that year. So talk to as many people as possible. Just go around. You never know who could end up being a client of yours or refer you to somebody else that could end up being a client of yours as well. Remember, every person that learns about your business, that knows about you, that starts to build a little bit of trust with you, they turn into a potential referral source for you. So talk with as many people as possible at the group. Try to get through everybody if you can, even just a little bit of a conversation. So that's my first key. Network with as many people as you possibly can within the group. The second key to a successful networking meeting is going to be having a clear elevator pitch for you, your services, your company. If you go into the meeting and you talk to a lot of people, but you don't really express what it is that you do clearly and how you can help different business owners or different businesses, then it's going to be difficult for people to see how you could really help them in their business. I've been in many networking meetings where guests have come. I don't really understand what it is they do by the end of the meeting. They'll stand up for their 30-second pitch. They'll say the name of their company and maybe one or two clients. They'll talk about one or two clients they've helped in the past, but I don't have a clear understanding of how it is that I could benefit from their services. I've even been in networking groups with other members in the group where it was weeks before I really understood what it was that their business did. You have to remember that all these industries, typically these groups, they only have one person within each specific industry. So a lot of these industries aren't really going to know much about your specific industry. I know to us, it seems really obvious what video is and how it can help a business, the different types of videos that we could capture for businesses to help them grow and scale. But for them, it's not going to be that simple. For example, put yourself in the other person's shoes. I've been in networking groups where there was a commercial banker, and then there was a mortgage lender, and then there was another specific type of banker within a different industry. And I didn't really understand the differences between those different roles and what a good referral would look like for those different business owners as well. So you need to be really clear with your elevator pitch. You want people to walk away from that networking meeting and say, anybody mentions video to them, they immediately know that you're going to be the resource that they should be referring to that individual. So you want to make it really clear with a clear elevator pitch. I recommend, like I said, a lot of these times you're going to have a 30-second pitch that you can provide. 30 seconds can be kind of long for an elevator pitch, but just have some sort of succinct explanation of what your business is and how you help your specific target clients grow and scale their businesses, or ultimately overcome their challenges and achieve their objectives with their business. So have that really clear elevator pitch. It doesn't take long to figure that out, and there are a ton of resources online that you can look up as to what a good elevator pitch is, the structure of it for your business. That takes us to our third key that we should focus on to effectively earn business for ourselves through networking group meetings. We want to give people an easy way to get a hold of us. So first, we need to network with as many people as possible. Second, we need to have a clear elevator pitch when we network with those individuals. Now, it's not enough for just both of those things. If you have conversations with a ton of people and then you tell them what you do and they have a clear understanding of what they do, well, it doesn't help them if they have no idea how to get a hold of you. Ultimately, they need to know how to get a hold of you for them to be able to do business with you, or if they want to refer somebody over to you for them to do business with you. So it's a really important third step that you give people an easy way to get a hold of you. Well, what are some ways that you can do this? Probably the most straightforward one and the most timeless would be handing out business cards. A lot of people think that business cards are antiquated at this point, but I promise you, I've booked a ton of business off of having a good old-fashioned business card and just passing them out at meetings. That business card is going to have your contact information on it, whatever your preferred contact information is. I have my phone number and my email address on my business card. And you would not believe the number of inquiries that I get from people who I've handed a business card. A couple of days, weeks, months go by, and then they realize, oh yeah, I'm in a position now where I'm looking for a video for this project. Or, hey, one of my friends who's also a business owner just said they're looking for a certain type of video for this project. So then they have that business card, maybe they took a picture of it or they have it handy still. They send my contact information to that person. They reach out to me, and then I end up ultimately booking business off of that. So pass out business cards. Another great thing to do, there are a lot of digital business cards that you can put today on your phone. I think Apple actually even has a feature integrated within their iOS system where I think you can just tap your phone onto someone's phone, automatically offload all of your contact information into their device. I think that's just like an Apple to Apple thing. But there's a ton of other programs out there that you can utilize that have that same feature. Okay, this is another popular one that I've seen before as well. It's called Blink, BLINQ. It's a digital business card. I think they even have sort of like a fob thing that you can put on if you have car keys, something like that you carry around if you're not driving your Tesla and have your little card. But they have this little fob that you can do instead of your phone. You can tap the fob onto people's devices and it'll automatically upload your information into their phone as well. Looks like there's a ton of them. All you really need to do, just enter it into Google, find the one that seems like it works best for you. Once again, you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned business card as well. So those are the 3 keys right there to effectively earning new business from networking groups. 1, network with as many people as possible. 2, have a clear elevator pitch for yourself and your business. 3, give people an easy way to get a hold of you. So focus on those 3 things, get out to as many networking groups as you possibly can, and you're going to start to find that your business is growing and scaling, and you're getting a ton of new projects booked from all these business networking groups. All right. That's it for today's episode. If you would like a free copy of my book where I talk about these strategies and way more, and ultimately how to turn your video production business into a 6-figure income and a full-time career, then click the link in the description below, and that will take you to where you can get a free copy of my book. All right. Once again, that's it with this one. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.